Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Wow, Women of Wisdom. Today I am going to show you how to stitch a very simple, stylish and easy to sew flap neck tunic. For this, I have taken these two cotton fabrics. The white with big squares I am using for the kurti, and the small squares fabric I am using for the flap and for the borders on sleeves. So let's get started. First of all, I'll show you how to take measurements for the simple kurti. Fold the fabric into 4 as shown in the video. And then mark the full length of the tunic. Mine is 43 inches. Then mark a point on 14 inches, that is my waist point, and mark a point on 21 inches, that is my hip point. For the shoulder width, I have taken 7 inches. Armhole depth 7.5 inches. And draw lines. For the shoulder drop, I have taken ½ inch. And for the bust measurements, I have taken full round of bust, adding 2 inches of ease allowance and divided it into by 4. Since my fabric is in 4 folds, mark that measurements, and 1.5 inch extra for the seaming allowance. For waist measurements, take full round of waist, adding 2 inch of ease allowance and divided it into by 4, and 1.5 inch extra for the stitching allowance. And for the hip measurements, take full round of hip, adding 2 inch of ease allowance and 1 inch extra for stitching margin. And for the bottom of the kurti ghera, take 1 inch extra from the hip measurements. Join all the points with the help of ruler as shown in the video. Draw the back armhole curve, and for the front armhole curve, take half of armhole depth and go ½ inch inside and mark a point, and give it a front armhole curve shape as shown. Now for the neck width, I have taken 3.25 inches, and for the front neck depth, 8 inches diagonally I have taken. And give it a shape as a curved V neck for the front neck. Back neck depth I am taking 1 inch. And give it a shape for the back neck. Markings are done for the simple kurti. Now I'll show you how to cut it. This is the paper pattern for the front side with the measurements I just showed you, from which we have to cut the flap and the one shoulder piece. So for this, go 3 inches down to the armhole and mark a point, and then join this point to the neckline with a curved line as shown. And then mark the flap length, which is I am taking 12 inches. So mark the length of flap on 12 inches and draw line. And take the width of the flap on shoulder 1 inch as shown and draw a straight line. This is the pattern for the flap. Now separate the shoulder piece from this pattern as shown. Now place your paper cutting of front piece on the folded fabric. And cut the pattern accordingly. And also separate the shoulder piece with ½ inch margin on the neck area as shown. Now cut the back pattern according to the back measurements. Now cut the shoulder cutting piece on the fabric by leaving ½ inch stitching margin to the sides of the pattern as shown. You can use different color cloth piece for this to give it more designer look, but I want it as simple, so I cut the same fabric. separate the flap piece from the pattern as shown. Place the flap pattern piece onto the fabric and cut the fabric by leaving half-inch stitching margin on the sides of the pattern as shown. I have cut 2 pieces for the flap pattern and also cut 1.5 inches wide bias strips to conceal the raw edges, and I have cut 3/4 sleeves for this kurti. You can watch the cutting of sleeves in my cold shoulder kurti tutorial, and I have cut 3 inches wide straight strips for border on the sleeves. Now I'll show you how to stitch it. Place the flap pieces facing right side each other and make a stitch line on the sides as shown. I have stitched it on the sides, and now make small cuts to turn it out properly and press it, and also do the top stitching. Now place the flap piece onto the front kurti piece and make a stitch line as shown. Now take a bias strip and fold it and place it onto the neckline and make a stitch line as shown. I have done with stitching on the bias strip. Now mark the front neck depth, that is 8 inches diagonally. And take your shoulder cut piece. I have already concealed the raw edges of the neck side of this piece. Then pin the shoulder piece with the bias strip as shown in the video. And make a stitch line on the shoulder piece. I had joined the shoulder piece and done with the top stitching. And I concealed the raw edges of back neck with bias strips. Attach the borders on the sleeves. And now join both the shoulders of the kurti and do the side stitching. And I have attached one button on the corner of the flap, but you can decorate it as you want by adding more buttons or loops. After doing all this stitching, I will show you the final result of the kurti. This is the final look of my kurti. Hope you all liked it. Please like, share, comment and also subscribe to my channel for more such easy tutorials. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.